Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Pascal Gitton in Sancerre in the Loire Valley. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Now, how long have you been making Sauvignon Blanc in the Loire for?
In the Loire, we started, my father started in 1945 and I joined him in 1976.
Now, what would you say to those people who would sometimes dismiss Sauvignon Blanc as not being a noble varietal?
Well, I think it's a noble varietal because we've had in Sancerre Sauvignon for 300 years. So it's not because some countries overseas, like the southern hemisphere, want to make it a commercial wine, that we cannot make a premium wine with that variety. It keeps very well. It's strong and can be strong and full. You can make it with even sweet. You can make it dry, crisp. Depends how people make the wine. Basically, running to the grape and the soil.
I love the fact that you don't just make one Sauvignon Blanc and then a Sauvignon Blanc Reserve, but you make a number of Sancerre, a number of Pouilly-Fumé. How many Sauvignon Blanc bottlings do you have in Sancerre and Pouilly-Fumé?
In Sancerre we have 12 different Sauvignon because some are on flinty soil, which is our major wine, because we've been separating the wines from flinty soil since 1959.
You were one of the first people to do this, I believe.
Yes, my father started it, and I followed his steps. He died 2 years ago. He was 91, but it was the first one who ever separated the Sancerre from the different soils, from the different plots. Some people have also followed in his idea, but I think Sancerre, we don't have any Premier Cru, we don't have any Grand Cru like in Chablis, but we can have, with the soil and the exposition and the age of the vineyard, we can have a wide palette of aromas and taste with just one grape variety.
Now, you mentioned that you thought Sauvignon Blanc aged well. Most people would not think of that, and yet today we tasted some wines going back some considerable number of years.
Yes, well, if it's not rushed and not and well made, I mean, the Sauvignon can keep very well. We have the ones that we have fermented in the stainless steel won't keep so long because it's fermented more quickly and bottled more quickly. But if you do like our forefathers, the Sancerre was bottled the spring after the harvest, before, when it was from flinty soil. When it's from chalky soil, sorry. When it was from flinty soil, people used to bottle it just before the harvest, so almost 1 year after, and then sell it just a year after the bottling. So these wines can keep extremely well. I mean, for instance, we still market wines that are 20 or 30 years old, but this just for amateurs, and it keeps its freshness.
You said they're just for amateurs?
Well, it's for wine lovers.
Wine lovers as opposed to amateurs?
Yeah, well, amateur, I mean, amateur, maybe I'm translating the French.
Okay.
Wine lovers would be, amateur is the one who loves something.
As in the connoisseur, or the...
Well, you have to be connoisseur, because, well, you have to believe in the wine and believe in the winemaker because it's not, and most of the people in Sancerre don't believe their wine is going to keep. We still sell, I mean, some 82s and 79s and 75s.
Oh. Are there any other producers who follow this the same methodology?
Keeping old wines, I don't think there is. But, I mean, they keep 10 years, 15 years, but so many years as we do, I don't think there is any. Separating the vineyards, we've been doing that for decades. People were not believing in it. Now people come back to it. but it's a very difficult job, and well, most people don't want to do that task because commercially it's more difficult because you have to have a niche market, and you have to find the connoisseurs and amateurs who are going to want for real products of Sancerre, and there are very few, and people usually want a Sancerre that is young and fresh, simple, but I think we can do that. Anybody can do that, but we don't use yeast. We just respect the soil, respect the yeast that are on the grapes when we harvest, and the end product is it's personalized to each vineyard. So it's commercially it's more difficult, but I think the people who like our style of wine are different way of winemaking in barrels are always following us over the years and keep our product. We have private clients that have been following our wines for 40 years. It's because, well, that's even wine importers for 40 years. So it's because the product is good, and the grape is respected and the terroir is respected.
Do you feel that the world's current fascination with Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand has been beneficial or detrimental to the production of Sancerre and Pouilly-Fumé in the Loire?
Has not been beneficial, because it's been totally against, because some producers are asked by the wine merchants or the wine importers to make a wine
more similar to
like in UK. People want a wine, a Sauvignon made like in New Zealand, easy to drink and green and grassy. I refuse to
Good,
make
I'm
it.
glad.
I make a wine that I like, and I like to find clients that like the same things that I do. I mean, I'm a bit stubborn, but I think you make the wine, you put your name, and I don't want to be told how to make Sauvignon, because we are the origin of the Sauvignon. I'm sorry. I don't say in New Zealand there's no good Sauvignon, but I don't want to follow the trend.
Pascal Gitton, thank you so much for joining us today at Good Food Revolution, and thank you for taking us through a fascinating tasting.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.